Hey, what's cooking, guys? Obviously I'm in cottage country and I thought what better place for a campfire cookout than here. So today I'm gonna make campfire chicken and waffles with wild blueberry infused maple syrup, and it is gonna be awesome. So I'll see you guys back at the cottage. Some challenges for this recipe, and as always, I'll address all of these by the end of this video. What if I'm not at the cottage? What if I don't have a campfire? Wild blueberries, seriously? Those are impossible to find. All right, first things first, I got the fire going nice and hot. Now I gotta make the batter for the chicken. Now this is gonna be triple dipped. It's gonna be flour, then the batter, then rosemary seasoned breadcrumbs. First, I gotta make the batter, so I just need an egg. Somebody toss me an egg. Okay, before I prep the chicken, I gotta put the oil in the pot. Now, I've never tried frying over an open fire, and I don't know if I'm actually gonna recommend it to you guys, but we'll see at the end of this video. It's always good to try something new, right? Now, if you do decide to try this, you might wanna be a little extra careful because you are dealing with oil and fire. Now, that egg yolk's really gonna hold the batter together and give a nice crispy texture. Half a teaspoon of salt, and it wouldn't be cottage cooking without beer. 1 cup, any kind you like. Mix that up until smooth. You want it to look about like that. Now to get that real intense crunch that you want out of fried chicken, you gotta use panko. I'm gonna mix mine with flour, salt, and some dried rosemary that I'm gonna grind up real fine. And that flavor is really gonna pop with that blueberry syrup. So I got my rosemary, a few tablespoons of AP flour, about a teaspoon of salt, and 3 or 4 tablespoons of panko. And just mix her up until she's well blended. Apparently it's a she. I'm just gonna transfer that to a plate so it's easier to coat. Just gonna pound out the chicken, we gotta cover it up. Okay, we'll just put the plastic wrap over top like this. And of course, I'm a big dummy and forgot my meat mallet, so I had to find something to make do. You can always find the tools you need at a cottage. Gotta toss another log on the fire. I'm just gonna cut this up in the size pieces that I want, and then I'm ready to dip it. Okay, now this part could get a little messy, but you can't have fun without messy, right? So it goes right into the flour, then the batter, then the crumbs, into the oil. While the chicken cooks away, I'm gonna make some waffles. I have this wicked cool pan that makes like little waffle sliders. Don't worry, if you don't have this, any kind of waffle will work. I'm just gonna brush the pan with oil. Now I'm using pecan or pecan oil because I like the flavor. You can use any kind of oil. Now this is just my standard waffle recipe, linked below. Feel free to use any waffle recipe that you love. Those look so cool. It's been about 2 minutes, so I'm gonna give them a flip. So 2 more minutes and those are done. You might have to eat 7 of them to make up for a regular waffle, but they just look so cool. I'll just put those aside and check on the chicken. And remember, you don't have to do this over an open fire. Obviously, stovetop will work, just not as much fun. You smell that? Fried chicken. Pretty sure it's done. I cannot wait to crunch into that chicken. It looks awesome, but first, we gotta do the syrup. So we went foraging. I was insistent upon finding something in this area to put into this recipe. And lo and behold, if it wasn't my youngest daughter who discovered wild blueberries. Check these out. Now obviously these are immature blueberries. Not immature like I'm immature, but not fully ripe, which is perfect for maple syrup because they're super tangy, but still have a blueberry flavor. So I'm just gonna put about 3/4 of a cup of pure maple syrup into the pot. Now obviously the odds of you having unripened blueberries in your area at this given moment are probably pretty low, but really you can use any fruit. Just if you use fully ripened blueberries, put them in a little later because they're softer than these bad boys, but fruit and maple syrup, come on, it's gonna be good. That goes right over the open fire for 6-7 minutes, just enough time to infuse the berries into the syrup. All right, my favorite part of the show, we get to plate this up and then have a taste. Start with a waffle on the bottom. This awesome crispy chicken goes on next. Now I'm gonna make these into a slider. I mean, because I can. Little guys on top. Looks cool. This looks so cool. Why not a little pat of butter? And last, but unmistakably not least. All right, good times. Eeny, meeny, miny, this one. Man, that is outrageous. You've got the soft waffle, the crunch of the chicken, the tender chicken, sweet tangy from the blueberries, and the rosemary sets it all off. It is beautiful. Talk about cottage food. I'm in cottage heaven. Blueberries, huh? Wild blueberries.
Yep.
All these?
Yep.
Oh, they're early, immature. Nice. Let's see. Those are gonna add some tang. Woohoo!